All right, I know it's been a while. It's been a while. Had to wait for the month to close. All right, a lot of things have happened, but we're back. Bitcoin Cash, we are back. All right. My last video, I gave the doomsday analysis of how if we came back below this 3-month swing low here, things were very bleak. Okay. So far, we have swept that liquidity coming back into the range. But if you haven't seen my Bitcoin video for March, all right, this new month, I recommend that you take a look at that because it's going to affect the analysis for Bitcoin Cash. Okay. So starting right off the top, nothing has changed fundamentally about Bitcoin Cash. Right now, Bitcoin Cash is just going with the ebbs and flows of this ever-changing bull market, okay? From when it seems like it's a full-on bull market to when it's a full-on bear market. It's been feeling like both, all right? So I don't want you guys to feel like I'm being wishy-washy when I said in the very first video that Bitcoin Cash is going to 718, and then to the last video when I was saying Bitcoin Cash would revisit the 270 level. All right. I promise I'm not trying to be back and forth. I'm giving it to you exactly as I'm seeing it in the charts. All right. This thing is just moving very quickly. All right. So if you haven't seen this video before, the analysis all started from the 3-month chart where price entered this buy side imbalance. Right here, we had a single 3-month candle go into the imbalance and we closed just inside. All right. And then I anticipated the very following quarter to hit external liquidity up here at 718. That was the trade idea. That was the price prediction, if you will. So to illustrate what that would have looked like, I will go run over to BNB, Binance Chain. All right, and you can see what that would have looked like right here. So same trade idea. There's the imbalance. Price reaches in with 1 quarter candle, 1 3-month candle. This chart, price closed outside of the imbalance, and then it went on to hit external liquidity, which was right here. Okay, and you can see how price has reversed off of that high ever since doing so. All right, so that's the trade idea, just to get you back up to speed. Now, here's the thing. With price missing the external liquidity, you can see how we reversed, and instead of going after the buy side liquidity, we rolled over and went after the sell side liquidity. The sell side liquidity was the swing low. It was the lowest point that entered that buy side imbalance. You can see just how we just went right below it and swept it ever since. Okay, now the question is this when we start seeing those higher prices back towards 718, or will we continue back down to revisit this 3-month low at 270 and potentially go even lower? That's the question right now. There's liquidity on both sides of the market right now. You have the buy side liquidity there and it's being stacked up. What do I mean by that? This 3-month high is still buy side liquidity, but you now have this high from the quarter of October, which has not been rated yet. That is also buy side liquidity. So you have 2 pools here. But below us, we have a 6-month level. It's very small, but we have a 6-month level here at 165. I kid you not. This level is at $165 that has not been tested. And I hate to be the person to say we can revisit 165, but I'm going to be honest, guys. When we were up here last at the end of 2024, when we were at $600, just a hair off of 718, here's the target. I did not think that price could go back to 270, which was down here. That's the fair value swing low. When we were here, I was not saying it's likely we're going to go back down here. I was saying the opposite. It's unlikely that we would see that level. Sure enough, we got it. Okay, so here I am telling you today, it's unlikely that we'll see 165, but my God, it can happen. All right, it can really happen. And if price begins to close below 270 on a weekly or monthly basis, you're gonna want the cash part of Bitcoin Cash. I'm just gonna let you know right now. This is not financial advice, but if I was to try to take advantage of this, I personally would do the poor man's gamble. Okay, I'm gonna explain what the poor man's gamble is. The poor man's gamble is you sell out of your current position in hopes of getting in at a lower price than where you sold at. And it's the poor man's gamble because if you get it wrong and price actually starts to push higher than where you sold at, you're messed up, right? You get left. But if we start getting strong closes below 270 on a weekly or monthly basis, it's a 90% chance that we're going to see 165. That's just from my experience, not me like trying to be Nostradamus or anything. All right, take a look at the monthly. On the monthly chart, we do have our March candle opening up here. you can see where the previous monthly candle is down here at 270. That's the low. So right now we have opened closer to the low of the previous month than the high. All right. Now, if you guys watch my channel, you know how I feel about inside bars. Inside bars are rare, right? You can see that January was an inside bar, but because of that rare occurrence, February was the one that broke out of the range of the two previous candles. So you can see February took out January's low and it took out December's low. So it's unlikely that March is going to be an inside bar, okay? In the event that it is, you're gonna have to wait for April to be the one to break out in one direction or the other. But I think March could be that candle. So based off of what I'm looking at right now, because March is much closer to February's low than to its high, it only makes logical sense to me to think that March could revisit this low just to sweep it. And that's just under the simple fact of inside bars being a rare occurrence on such a high time frame. So that in itself is a confluence for us to see 270 again. Now, if we get a strong close below 270 on a weekly or monthly basis, then you know what's down here waiting on us, all right? Otherwise, if we can close in this space, right? And what I mean by this space, it's this space right here from January's low to the current low, to the current high, I'm sorry. January's low to the current high, and I'm going to change the color. All right, if price in its current candle can come in and fill this space and remove it, right? So if we can remove that, price would have to go from where it is now to about $400. If we can get to $400 and close in any possibility of a bearish imbalance, we may have some hope. Okay, we may have some bullish hope. But until then, right, this is where we are now. This is confluence of lower prices. We need to close in these spaces. This is not a fair value gap, all right, because the March candle is it just open. We don't have a confirmed gap. That's why I say it'd be nice if we can close it in, all right? On the weekly, it looks pretty ominous, all right, because on the weekly, we actually do have a bearish gap here, okay? So if you see Bitcoin Cash go from 334 to 358, don't take it as we're in a rocket. This is actually just normal algorithmic movement to test this weekly area. It's not the rocket time yet. Rocket will be if we can invalidate this area. So when we get up here, if we can invalidate it by not making a new lower low after testing this. So let's say we go into 359, 360, right? We are now entering that bearish weekly level. If we can fail to get below 270, right, this previous low, if we can fail and instead find some support and push higher, at that point, we'd be hitting and closing in that 400 area. So no more sell side gap on the monthly, no more sell side gap on the weekly. Then we may be on our way back to that 718 level, okay? But that's your level to watch. That's it. Like as of right now, those are your only two chances of not revisiting 165 right now. So feel free to put this on your weekly chart. And since I'm right here, I'm going to put an alarm for price if it goes in there. And what I'll be watching to see after price goes in there is if we take out the weekly external range liquidity at the low. All right. That's going to be the target for this gap if it holds. Obviously, what you want to do is not see it hold if you're buying this. So you don't want to see that low get taken out. All right. That is my analysis for Bitcoin Cash. I do believe that it's your hard-earned money. You deserve to do with it as you want. So on the flip side, if you are shorting Bitcoin Cash and you get that close below this level on a weekly basis, a nice strong close, like not a small candle body, you want to see displacement below this level, then you're more than welcome to short down to this 6-month level, because that would be the next area of liquidity. Okay. Last thing, if I go to the 3-month, take a look at what's in the same area as that 6-month level. It's a lot larger, but I'm going to draw it with a box. I mean, that's not coincidence, guys. You have a 3-month level in the exact same area as the 6-month. Okay, pick your poison, right? Like if we get that close below that 270 range, I mean, I guess you can call it an outlet sale if you want, but things are looking pretty scary. So we'll see what happens. All right. I'm saying all of this with the understanding of what Trump said this morning. All right, I said it in the Bitcoin video. I say it now. The crypto stockpile is a go. It's now confirmed. We have 5 confirmed cryptos that are going to be in there: Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, XRP, and Bitcoin. Trump said there would be more, but I only know of those 5 that are confirmed. I don't know if Bitcoin Cash is going to be in there, because if you think about it, because Bitcoin Cash is a fork of Bitcoin, I don't even know if you can consider that a US based coin. Like, I don't know how that works, but regardless of what happens, if you've watched my Bitcoin video, I don't even think that we're off to the races yet for a new all-time high. And if Bitcoin goes back down, based off of my analysis, I mean, 165, man, it could be in the crosshairs. So keep an eye on that. And that's my analysis.